One of the most valuable things that I think I could share as a filmmaker on my channel is sharing some of the things I've learned in the last 15 years working as a filmmaker and running my own video production company. But specifically, sometimes I like to share the mistakes that I've personally made or I've seen other people around me make. And in this video, I wanted to share 5 of those with you that I think if you can avoid. I know a lot of times we learn from our own mistakes and it's hard to listen to someone else and avoid their mistakes, but hopefully, even if you could avoid one of this, I think it could really save you in the long run. So the first one is related to the filmmaking side of things, and some of these are going to be related to the business side of things. But the first one is doing dangerous shoots or putting yourself in actually dangerous situations around the shoot. So just to give you an example of some dangerous situations that I've personally been in. One time, I almost fell out of a helicopter doing a shoot. This is sort of where before drones were popular or were even affordable, really. They were around. But we did a helicopter shoot and something happened with my seatbelt. I was shooting from the side of the helicopter and I almost fell out. Another time, I almost got crushed by a skateboard when I was standing underneath a ramp trying to get someone to go through it. They missed and they almost fell on top of me from a pretty high distance. I've also many times in the last 15 years almost fell asleep after a super long shoot driving home since I live pretty far from the city. So not planning correctly in lots of those times or just saying, hey, I don't feel safe in this situation is something I wish somebody told me about early on because it's just not something we could think of at that moment. But if you go into a shoot thinking about your safety, you could avoid a lot of dangerous situations. And a lot of times when you're really tired, when you have a long shoot, you should think ahead of maybe lodging or getting a hotel or maybe asking the production to provide a hotel so you don't have to put yourself in a situation where you may fall asleep driving home. So hopefully on the next shoot or anytime you go in a situation where you're not comfortable, you could think of that. Nothing is obviously worth your health or putting yourself in a dangerous situation. The second thing, probably the thing that held me back from really excelling in my career quicker, was focusing way too much on buying more gear, thinking if I have more gear or the better gear or the newest gear, somehow I'm going to make more money or it's going to excel my career, I'm going to get a better job as a DP. Whatever the case is, a lot of us battle this every single day. And I see this on YouTube all the time because I started this YouTube channel exactly the same way, where I was showing unboxings of the latest tech and all this stuff, because that's just the nature of YouTube. Really, you can't make a successful filmmaking channel on YouTube if you're not showing the latest gear. And I do it to some extent, but now I've really dialed back to showing essential gear that you really should have, or gear that is new, but I think is revolutionary, that could really take you to the next level. But typically, this is a battle that you can never win. If you keep buying more gear thinking the next piece of gear is going to take you to the next level, you will constantly do this till you're 65 years old and you still can't retire. Because if you invest everything back in gear instead of back into the business itself, it's really hard to get out of that mode. And I made this mistake ton of different times. If you see some of my videos on this channel, I'm surrounded by gear. We have so much gear, I don't know what to do with it, and most of it doesn't really go on jobs. But for the last 4 years, I've barely invested in gear compared to what I was doing early on in my career. So avoid buying gear, do other things related to the business side of things to try to get more clients and excel your career that way instead of gear. But it is critical to have some essentials, and I do cover those on this channel. Now, the third thing I wanted to share, and the thing that almost ended my career, is just not taking care of my health. Now, I'm not talking about doing dangerous shoot like I shared before. I'm talking about actually not eating correctly, not exercising, working so much. Sometimes I was working 90-hour weeks, and I would treat myself to a double cheeseburger on the way home, right? Because I just felt like I deserved to get that and not eat on whatever meal plan I was on. And it just kind of spiraled out of control. And I was in such bad shape at some point that it really started mentally changing how I looked at things too. I just had a bad attitude towards things. Physically, I just couldn't get through the day. And it's something that I really focus on now, which basically I put it in my calendar to exercise on a regular basis and eat correctly so I don't get into that mode. And Because of that, I actually hurt my back on multiple times. And sometimes, there was one time actually I hurt my back. And this is doing improper Steadicam and things like that. But at some point I couldn't work for months, and it really, really almost ended my career because I really physically couldn't move. Some of that had to do with the Steadicam stuff. Some of that just had to do with weight gain and just not taking care of myself. So I know it doesn't seem like it's tied into your career and you much rather hustle, but it does catch up. In my 20s, I never thought about this stuff. And in my 30s, I paid for it repeatedly because it wasn't something that I really thought about early on. Now, number 4 is one of my biggest passions and really my main focus with this channel. And I'm making videos about it about once or twice a week. And that is really learning a little bit about marketing, sales, and the business side of filmmaking. I know this is really difficult as filmmakers because our brain typically works on the creative side of things and we don't want to worry about the sales, marketing, and the business side of things. But it's really hard to get past that initial level of success and having just enough money where money doesn't become our motivation for every job we take. It's learning a little bit of sales and marketing so you could actually get clients when you want to get clients rather than through word of mouth, which is typically how most people in the world of filmmaking get their next job. So if you take the time a little bit, maybe 5 hours a week, you dedicate, you set aside, and you learn a little bit about sales and marketing, it could really help you. Because I always teach people, it's much better to create a little video production company for yourself where you are in control of getting clients rather than always waiting on the call of some producer hiring you on your next project and just waiting on a word of mouth kind of thing. I did this for a long time as a cinematographer, and it was really depressing, especially when I would lose a job to another cinematographer. A producer maybe would go to a different job, they won't hire me ever again. Maybe that was a bulk of my income. I just lost it overnight. Just repeated failures like that made me want to be in control of my own destiny. So I taught myself sales and marketing, and I taught myself that repeatedly every chance I had free time. It wasn't like one time I sat down and learned sales and marketing. It's kind of an evolving thing. I still focus on it every single day to this day, 15 years later. But it really is what freed me from that whole struggle. So I always recommend, don't make the mistake of avoiding it and just not thinking about sales, marketing, and basically working on your video business, because I think it could really change things for you like it did for me. And if you haven't downloaded my checklist from the previous videos, I put together a complete checklist for showing you how to create a video production company so you could be in this position of basically handling what's happening in your life rather than just always waiting on the next call. And the last thing, which is a conversation I keep having on shoots, is I notice filmmakers just ignore their finances to some level. And by that, I mean, I was talking to a filmmaker and they've been doing this for a long time, almost as long as me. And they were very confused when I was talking about a retirement plan. They had no idea what I was talking about. I was talking about an IRA, basically, where right now you could put $6,000 a year into a retirement plan for yourself. And this kind of makes sense as you go through your career to have some sort of retirement plan if you're freelancing or you have your own video company, right? You really are in charge of your own retirement. Nobody is setting that up through work. So when I was talking to them about it, they had no idea what I was talking about. And I wasn't getting more advanced. I wasn't talking about solo 401ks, and I wasn't talking about SEP retirement plans. A traditional retirement plan, which is called an IRA or a Roth IRA, is what I was talking about, and they didn't know. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's really beneficial to take the time and not ignore your finances and learn things about your retirement. I've done a ton of research on this stuff. I have a CPA. Again, I'm not giving you any financial advice as I don't do that in my videos, but I do tell you things to learn about. And I talked to my CPA about this, and he set me up with some retirement plans that were really beneficial for me. I mean, I set this up years ago, but I also take the time to take care of my personal finances. I just use a free app called Mint. And I use QuickBooks to really know the numbers in my video business as well. So between those platforms, I basically know exactly what's going on. I've invested in stocks and real estate, because if you learn that stuff, you could really set yourself up for a successful future rather than constantly having to trade your hours for dollars. And that's something that I'm really passionate about. and I try to teach people this while I'm on shoots. So I figured once in a while I should mention those in my videos as well. But on shoots, every time I've had a conversation, even if it became about cryptocurrency and the metaverse and the latest tech, people just had no idea what's going on, and they just refused to spend any time learning that stuff, because I know it's not directly tied to filmmaking. But if you look at our whole career, and if you think about things 10 years down the road rather than just for this week, these things are going to be very beneficial to learn. So again, take some time to look into that stuff. So those are 5 things that I think are gonna help you in your whole career as a filmmaker. As usual, make sure you subscribe. I do post these once or twice a week covering the business side of filmmaking and some essential things that I think every filmmaker should know. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.